Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you came back to the Strong Sexy You podcast. Today, I'm here with Aubrey, Worek, and Alyssa Siegel, the A-team. And we are back fresh from a weekend in Columbus, Ohio at the Arnold Classic. And so we thought this was a great time to talk about fitness competitions. All three of us have been involved in the past. And, seeing everything happen last weekend, we decided this was a great time just to fill you all in, all the listeners in on our competition backgrounds. So before we do that, though, I'm going to let Aubrey tell you a little bit about our weekend in Columbus.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, the Arnold Classic is known to be one of the largest, if not the largest, fitness expos in the world. So started by Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. He makes a guest appearance every year at this event. I'm not quite sure how many years it's been going on, but I will tell you this, it is a very well-organized event and people really aspire to it. And really, before I went to the Arnold, there is a person who's well known in the Pittsburgh area. His name is Bill Viola. He modeled the largest Pittsburgh fitness expo off of the Arnold Classic, which got me into competitive fitness, seeing what that expo entailed. So really what this expo is, I mean, it is, you come to people watch, you come to be inspired. It's almost like you're watching Olympic athletes. And this event is also known for natural and non-natural athletes. So you get to see really a smorgasbord of fitness people just doing their thing. And it's awesome. It is pretty amazing, though, the city of Columbus. It's a perfect venue for it. Plenty of parking, which we lucked out for. Great food, great restaurants. And I mean, I'm looking forward to hearing Alyssa's perspective. But really, I remember the first time I went to the Arnold back in, I would say my late 20s, was with you, Andi, and with Kathy Savage. And we went and we saw the actual fitness competitors. Now, the fitness routine, or the fitness category rather, is where you see the acrobatic, dance, strength type of routines that you would maybe back in the day on like ESPN or ESPN2. So that's what we went for, as well as Bikini. So that was my first experience, and the Arnold has grown. So what we also did was that we did our impromptu photo shoot, which we will have to talk a little bit more about here in a second. And I had some athletes competing at this event, which is called Pole at the Arnold, through the Pole Championship Series. So this is pole dancing is what I'm referring to. And I had some pole stars compete. I had one girl place, actually, and it was awesome to just give these young ladies an amazing experience, because as Andi mentioned, we have been competing since we were in our 20s, and it's it's kind of like a pay it forward thing, but it's awesome to just use our experience, our expertise, and to help guide people to greatness by breathing belief into them. So that is the gist of the Arnold. Way too many protein supplements that appear healthy, way too many energy this. There was like one thing called like nose slap, and I was like, whoa, we're gonna be squirting stuff up our nose. Okay, that's a hard sell for me. But it's just fun. It's something fun. Like, here's a glorified donut and all that stuff that, honestly, in my opinion, is it really that healthy? No, but we just want to pretend for that day. And that's what I do anyway. So I needed a detox from that. And I want maybe you guys to speak a little bit about our photo shoot, because it was really fun and funny and awesome.
I had a blast with our photo shoot. I had some hotel issues, but one thing my first hotel was good for was lighting, and it had a good gym. So we were able to get some really good shots in the lobby and in the gym. We changed up our outfits. I don't know. It's just really fun to mix it up with all of our pictures. Sure.
So Andi and I have done photo shoots since we've met each other. And so we've had this quite an experience from working with professional photographers and knowing what our bodies look like in certain shapes. Like, we know the shape that we need to hit to be like, this is my shape, this is my best side. And thanks to these photographers over the years, that we were able to kind of snap into some pretty awesome pics. And we took pictures from like 10:30 a.m. until almost 2 p.m. in the afternoon. It flew by. We were so efficient. And this is for our brand Strong Sexy You and for upcoming events and programs, all that stuff. But we didn't spend a dime on hair, a dime on makeup, or a photographer. And that's pretty big because we've spent lots of dimes on all those things over the course of
we have. And I don't want to take anything away from those photographers. I mean, they're the best in the world we've worked with. I mean, Paul Busetta, you can't get much better than that. Thomas O, John Lathrop, so many good ones. Our pictures look nothing like theirs, obviously, but with lighting and filters, we're able to make it work for what we need it for right now.
So we didn't use it.
What's that?
We didn't use a filter.
We actually didn't use a filter. You guys are right. You're right.
So I gotta give us some credit. Yeah,
hashtag filter free.
Never downplay. One of my best friends is a professional photographer that is totally an art. I guess, I was proud of us because, to be financially responsible, actually shoot with a photographer for 5 hours or 6 hours, that would have cost a small fortune. So go us for getting the job done.
Yeah. And we used, we have tripods, we have ring lights, we have the timers, we have the little clicker that you can use with your phone. It's on Amazon.
Lifesaver.
So it was definitely a lifesaver. And sometimes we just grab the camera, and I do have a really good camera. So, we use that too. And I think we did a good job.
I think so.
I think they turned out great.
The time that we put into it. So, and the other thing that I wanted to mention, what Alyssa and I did, because Alyssa and I were roomies, and Andi stayed at the Hampton and right across from the venue. So Alyssa and I, where we stayed, it was the two of us. Then we had a friend bunk with us for one night, but Alyssa and I got to be a little productive, and we choreographed her T-walk for her now coming up on third. Is it your second or third?
Third show.
Yeah. So this is a big deal. The T-walk is an opportunity for bikini athletes at certain shows with certain organizations to showcase their physique, to have fun. It's not a fitness routine, but I would say it kind of gives a nod to what a fitness routine maybe started off as way back in the day. So who knows if fitness will ever make a comeback with specifically the OCB. But right now they just have T-walks, and we did a little choreography that kind of fit her personality. And we're really excited to see that come to fruition in less than 2 months.
I can't wait. Living vicariously through you, Alyssa. So Alyssa, what did you think of the Arnold Classic? I mean, it was your first time there. What was your
first time? Yeah, I thought it was very well run. Aubrey, you did forget to mention a little bit too much shopping. Definitely did a little bit too much shopping at the expo, but it was so fun. Protein samples, but even some hair stuff. I just styled my hair today with the products I got there. So I just really, really liked it. I loved the pole competition. One thing I noticed was, so the girls competed in level 1, and it truly was level 1. Like, they had the parameter set. Like, so many times you go to competitions and you're like, okay, this person should not be in level 1, you know what I mean? But they had such parameter sets, so like you couldn't do more than what it was. So it really allowed everybody, even just starting, I think there was a couple of girls, even just a couple months in, that decided to do. So I really, really liked that. So it kind of made me inspired, like maybe I'll do pole next year at the Arnold. So cool. I really liked it. And our photo shoot we always have a good time.
Yeah. I agree, Alyssa. I had never been to a pole competition before. And one thing that I loved is they started on time.
Yes.
Many shows are late, hours and hours and hours late. So that was amazing. The stage was awesome. The lighting was awesome. The MC was awesome. So that was amazing to me. And I had never seen the pole routine. So I was impressed. Aubrey, I know we never want to take anything away from a winner, but I think your girl should have won. I'm just throwing that out there.
You know what? And we're getting the scores back. She might have been deducted for a move that we did not put in the world of pole dancing. There's, like, I don't know, thousands, millions of different moves that you can do. And even though they do have good parameters, there's some things that could be like a very gray area. So there might have been a move in there that they deducted points, even though from the audience's point of view, her routine was almost, flawless from that standpoint. Really good. So so we'll see. But and that can go to say, maybe as we shift into competition talk, is like, what I've learned through the years, Andi, and I'm sure you have too, and you've seen me learn this, is that, everyone has their day, everyone has their moments, and you don't want to take away from the winner. So even if we wanted to dispute something with my client's routine, that was that other young lady's day to be the winner that day. And, that is so that you're never a sore loser, so I think that's a big deal. Oh, and I will say something else about time. Alyssa and I did see the IFBB Pro Women's Bikini prelims, and that also started on time. All of those competitions started on time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. This is the first time I've gone that I didn't go to any of the fitness shows. I've been going there for, oh my goodness, I probably started going maybe 1997, 98 as a spectator. I've gone there as a coach, and I've gone as a worker. I used to work in the booth in the expo, and it has definitely evolved over the years. If you can believe this, I feel like there used to be more vendors, more booths set up, but now they have a lot of space where it's set up for like a ninja course. And there were guys dressed up as knights in armor. Yes, I don't know what they were, but they had some kind of competition going on. There was a military area where they had a competition. There was a strongman. So there's a lot of things that are happening in that expo area now that they used to have in other areas, which I think that's pretty cool, because when they were off in other rooms, you didn't even know they were happening. So that was neat. It still gets absolutely packed like it used to, which is exciting. But I didn't make it to any of the fitness competitions. And when you guys watched the bikini prelims, I had already gone. I planned on staying. Well, originally I planned on staying on Friday night because we were going to go to the fitness show. And then the only person who I knew who was going to be in it and then didn't get an invite, she wasn't there. So I'm like, you know what? I don't know anybody. I'm going to go home. But those fitness routines, they're really fun to watch. They're so different than what we were accustomed to with Fitness America. So it's a fun thing, but I didn't do any of those this time, but I did have so much fun with you guys. I loved going out to dinner with you. I have thought about that meal so many times. It was so good.
That's a good meal when you fantasize about it. You're like, oh.
Yes. Yeah, what was it called? Del Mar SoCal Kitchen in Columbus. Oh my gosh, you guys need to check that out. But anyway, so let's move into talking about fitness competitions. And, maybe people listening are like, what are you talking about? What's a fitness competition? Well, if you think of bodybuilding, that's kind of the umbrella that fitness competitions fall under. And there's a lot of different divisions under that umbrella. Bikini is one, which is what Alyssa competes in. Aubrey has done a lot of bikini shows. There's also fitness. And that one is the one where you have the routine, where it's dance, gymnastics, you show strength, flexibility, maybe some cheer. There's figure, which is more muscular than the bikini, but a little less than bodybuilding maybe. And some of the organizations have a newer category called wellness. And okay, maybe you can help me out with this, Aubrey. I think the wellness category is more for people who are built with a more robust lower body, big legs, more muscle.
Lower body.
Yeah.
I have a client and good friend of mine. She is a OCB figure pro. And once you go pro with the OCB, which stands for the Organization of Competitive Bodies, you are a pro in all categories. So when she leans out, she actually leans more, she gets leaner in her upper body than her lower body. This happens with a lot of women, and a lot of women genetically carry their strength in their legs. I am not built like that. I think I was, in my last life, I was a dude, and I am built more in my upper body, than my lower body. So I fare a little bit better in the bikini category, but you'll see with wellness that they are more quad dominant. With this or with that.
Yeah, it's a very unique category. I'm loving that they created it, because so many women for so long were trying to go into those categories that just didn't fit their body. And so this is perfect, I think.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a little bit about you, Aubrey, and give a little background on your fitness competition history. You started in 2007. That's when you did your first bikini and fitness show with the Fitness America at the Kumite Classic. I was actually there with you that day.
Yes.
You placed first in the bikini class and fourth in fitness. Then you started competing all over, went all over the country, went to Hollywood, which I was there with you too.
It was the first time.
We had so much fun. You worked your way into the top 5 at those international level shows for Fitness America in Miami and Las Vegas. And then in 2015, you won the Fitness America World Championships in Las Vegas. Yeah. I was there. I wasn't compeing. I was the host of that show.
I was tagging along. I would just, because I was like, I am just going to do whatever Andi does. And like, sure, you could tag along. And I just was, so grateful and so excited. My very first show, I had a woman design my suit, and I spent a ton of money. And this was before suit designers that how it is today, right? And it looked like a pile of garbage. And I'm not even kidding. People were like, no, it was like hot glued. I spent a ton of money. My mom ends up making me a last minute suit. And then I befriend Andi, and she's like, oh, hold up, sister. You need this purple suit of mine. And I put it on, and we looked like, this is it. And
that was the suit for you. Yeah.
It was a Sylvia Tremblay suit, and it was the best fitting suit I've ever put on my body.
It was. It looked so good on you. And I think, but correct me if I'm wrong, did you wear my black suit when you won Fitness America?
I did.
Yeah, that one looked really good on you too.
Thank you. I know. See, you have the touch.
So you, when you won the Fitness America, you won a pro card in that organization. So that allowed you then to go to the next level. What's the highest level you could get with Fitness America? From there, you became a local TV celebrity in Pittsburgh. You're on Pittsburgh Today Live, and you're still doing that. You're the fitness expert there. That's awesome.
For now 7 years. I can't believe it.
Wow. You had Roman, your son, in 2016, and you got back in shape. I'm going to say, you tell me, was it easy to get back in shape?
It was not.
Was it harder than you thought it was going to be?
Physical therapy. My body, I could not. I mean, how it changed hormonally. My nose blew up. My teeth got crooked. My diastasis recti, and I still have umbilical hernias just from labor. And it took me a while, even for the competition that I did to get me back in shape. It was called Be Amazing, where Kathy Savage created this along with one of her Good Time affiliates. And that competition got me back in shape. That it was a small show.
I remember.
Yeah, I did some different dietary techniques, and it really that was the show. So it took me over a year to get back on the stage.
So not everybody bounces right back, but you came back, you did that show, you were on some different magazine covers, the BFW magazine, you kept that momentum going, you won Be Amazing, then in 2022, you earned your OCB Bikini Pro card. Mm-hmm. That's fresh in our minds, we all remember that, and then you're going to make your pro debut in the OCB in September in Raleigh, North Carolina. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm really excited. What I've learned about training now, especially for the OCB versus Fitness America, with Fitness America, we were very focused. They had a different look, and some would say maybe it's a softer, more, I don't want to say more feminine look, because I think you could be very muscular naturally, or maybe not, but you could be more muscular and still have a lot of femininity. With Fitness America, we are not doing these group comparison rounds and holding these specific shapes. It's very much like a Miss America pageant would be, where we come out there and we're very glitzy glamoury, but it's very quick. The shows are pretty huge overall the whole time. So for me, training for the OCB, I had to really get to know that style of training and my body, because a lot of things that I learned back in the day, even through my exercise science background, I think actually hindered me. And you and I have kind of talked about this before, Andi, where we were taught abs are only made in the kitchen, and you're at the mercy of your genetics. And I kind of really took this last show and I said, screw that. I am going to train my body differently. Yes, I'm at the mercy of my genetics, but I'm going to override that. And I did it naturally. I did my own research. And I also worked with a longtime bodybuilder, Hall of Famer, Stacey Longo. We took 30 days to just hone in on this goal, because I thought, you know what? She told me a while ago, she's like, Aubrey, I would love to see you on that Yorton stage. And I was like, I think I should do it. And there you have it. So we did it.
Goal was set. I love it. Well, I'm going to come back and ask you a couple more questions, but I want to get Alyssa's take here, because Alyssa is fairly new to the competition world. Alyssa, you did your first show at the age of 40. Which most women at 40 are like, hell no, I'm not putting that tiny thing on and walking on stage and being judged by people. So kudos to you. At 40, it was in 2021. You had never walked in heels until a week before you went to your first posing class.
Nope.
That's crazy.
Flats girl.
Bambi. Is that what you called yourself? But you trained under Aubrey with Fitness Envy, her studio, and you are currently training for your third show. We're hoping third time is a charm. So tell us a little bit about that.
About the first show? Just
starting at 40. How was that? Was it scary to start at 40?
Very, very, very scary. And I was one of those people that didn't really know what it was either. So when she first suggested it, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I had that thing like, I don't want to be like this big mother. She's like, no, that's not what it was. And she was, I think she was just training. I hadn't seen her in the one show that she had done, I think back in December of 2020 it was, I believe. But so I really didn't know what it was. And I think back to it, actually in my 20s, a friend had approached me. I would think someone wanted her to do that. And I was one of those people that was like, why? You know what I mean? I feel bad now because like I didn't understand. So, and it's still the very first show, it still took some understanding. So, so I walked in heels the very first time before a posing clinic. Awesome. So I still wasn't very strong, on the heels. My goal was very mild. My goal was to do to look like I at least somewhat belonged and to not fall on my face. Like those were my goals. And I did that. Right? Yeah. I did them. I was shaking so bad. I nearly almost fell down the steps. There was like these awful steps at this venue because it was right after COVID. So some of the regular venues, weren't available. So, and I didn't tell very many people. My husband and my kids were there. And we have a lot of people from Fitness Envy that came, but like, I didn't tell my mom or my sister or any of my other friends. Like I was embarrassed of it, but like, I still didn't really fully understand it. So one thing was my cousin, she worked out with me. She was super supportive. Like Aubrey met her Jen, like she was literally probably, I don't know, one of the best things about it was we became really close. She started working out with me at gym. She was my backstage. Awesome. Yeah, she was my backstage girl, drove me there. So just very supportive, as well as two other fellow competitors. I came really close with Julie and Christine. And of course, Aubrey, we got closer as well. So just very different than my second show. And both of those are much different than my show coming up.
Awesome. All right.
Cool. Yeah. So the woman who really inspired it all, none of this would have happened, right, without me, fangirling over you, Andi.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah,
I'm so flattered.
So this is nuts. This is totally nuts. And I love learning all these little details about your competition. So when you've counted, you've done over 40 shows. Or close
I tried to count them all up and I hit like 40 and I'm sure I might be missing a couple. Yeah. So around there. Can't remember.
Wow. And this is like when, Fitness America was so big. It was so big. So, you are Fitness America and Fitness Universe Pro. And If you guys haven't, just go look on YouTube at Fitness America. Like back in the day, it's the bomb.com. So with that, I mean, Andi, I want you to talk a little bit more about that, but you know, it says here that you are on the ESPN series championships.
Yeah, so the way they used to do it, Fitness America, the way I even learned about Fitness America is they used to have these half-hour shows on ESPN2, yeah. I believe it was. And I mean, I'm 50. People my age may remember that. They're on ESPN2. It was a half hour, five girls competed. You did a routine, you did the swimsuit round. There was a commentator. Mia Finnegan was the commentator. And at the end, somebody won. And so I think it was 2001 or 2002, I won one of those shows.
Wow.
And I was so excited. I wanted to tell the world, I wanted to tell all my friends. Well, it ended up, they show these shows all over the world. My show was on in every country, India, Indonesia, everywhere, except the US.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. I knew what happened. I was fine with it, but that was a highlight. That was really, really fun. But yeah, those Fitness America shows, the World Championship shows, they would have over 100 competitors. Yeah. I remember my first goal when I would go to those was I want to be in the top 20. And it took me 2 years. I finally broke that top 20. But those shows were huge. It was so fun back in the day.
And I want to kind of come back to that in a second because you have a good story behind your placing. Now, this is very interesting. And this is maybe I was thinking like how you and Dana Lynn Bailey share something in common. So you placed second in the world with both Fitness America and Fitness Universe 6 times.
6, I know. I'm like the Buffalo Bills. Didn't they like lose the Super Bowl 5 or 6 times? I don't know. Yeah, I'm consistent, Aubrey. I'm consistent.
The consistency, right. And you're an amazing host and MC. These shows are exhausting, and you literally just get the names of these competitors from all over the world, like that day or that moment, right? And you're trying to pronounce their names right. You do a great job. I've had my name mispronounced so many times. I'm like, I didn't think it was that difficult, but I mean, I've been called Heidi for God's sake. So you've hosted that, and I love when you host because I'm like, is that still Andi back there? Because then your voice gets hoarse, but it's like the really sexy version of you.
It's the sexy, yeah.
I'm digging that. Yeah, but they were streamed for millions of people around the world to watch, and that is so awesome. So I definitely want to post your highlight reel. You know, we've got to see your fitness routines and that sort of thing. I mean, and I definitely have a couple other favorite fitness routines or fitness competitors that you just made me think of that I'd like to go back and rewatch those routines. Makes me happy.
Yeah, we should definitely post some of those routines in the show notes because I think people would love to watch those.
Yeah. But what I wanted to circle back to, Andi, can you tell us a little bit about, like, I think it was your very first show where you placed? Because no one would ever think this. Was it your very first show?
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So you told me the story, like, and I thought it was such a good story because when I met Andi, like, she is an ultimate rock star. And I was like, there's no way this woman has ever experienced what it's like to lose a show. And I was like, there's no way. She just doesn't understand it. She doesn't comprehend it. But you were like, there was a competition that you're like, you almost placed, it wasn't like dead last or something, but you're like, and if I never came back from that.
Oh, yes. It was, and actually I have a good friend, Dawn Butterfield, who both of us had a show where we had been doing great. We were consistently placing in the top and doing great. And then there was one show where both of us still did, we felt like we did great. And we like, I don't think we were in the top 10 or even maybe 15. And both of us were so defeated. And Dawn actually, she didn't let it affect her at all. I let it affect me a little bit more. She came back in her very next show. She won the Fitness America World Championships. I was a little saltier, but I came back and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to let this ruin something, because as much as you really wanted to win, it really didn't matter that much. It was more the experience and the people and being able to do something you love, get on stage and entertain people. So if I would have let that stop me, I would have missed out on so many years of amazing experiences. So.
Oh, I agree. And likewise, like I think my whole life I was never really used to winning anything. So I never had these expectations. And so when these things started to happen, you're like, oh wow, I'm more in charge of, you know, my result than I thought of. But Dawn Butterfield was the first person I saw. I remember at the Kumite Classic. And she came out when she was 40. I'll never forget her fitness routine. She came out in this gray wig and she's doing these arm balances on a walker. And then she rips it off and she's in this super sexy outfit doing this stuff. And I was like, wait, that's 40? I was 25 years old. And I was like, wait, that is 40. I'm like,
she is amazing. She still is. She still looks phenomenal.
Does she?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I don't know if she ever knows that. Yeah, she's one of my idols, but like I was like, sign me up for the sport.
I'm with you. I agree. So we have all competed being moms. But I competed before I was a mom, and then I took a little time off to have a baby and then competed afterwards. It was definitely a different experience, and not just because my body was a little bit different, but the time management. Maybe Aubrey, can you give us a little insight into how did competing look different for you before